Well, it's turning out to be a great month for Alien fans. Not only did we have Alien Isolation 2 teased last week, we've now just had a full reveal trailer for Aliens Fireteam Elite 2. Now these games could not be any further apart on the horror spectrum. Alien Isolation is a purely survival horror experience where the focus is completely on the horror and the action is always a last resort. Aliens Fireteam Elite is a wave-based shooter where you are gunning down xenomorphs in their hundreds. But honestly, I'm here for both. I think we can have both of these types of games and both have value that they bring to the table. Now, this trailer was revealed by IGN, who I personally don't think should legally be allowed to reveal anything Alien ever again after their Alien Isolation review. Just my opinion. But the trailer was split into two parts. We had this CGI part, which was, I'm gonna say it, pretty bad. The animations were not great.
Sorry I'm late.
Not sure why they included it personally, but there we go. And then we had a gameplay segment. Now, if you haven't played the first game, Alien Fireteam Elite is a complete wave-based shooter. This is basically Left 4 Dead, but instead of zombies, it's xenomorphs. You're going to be going through different levels with different objectives, and along the way, you're going to be faced with waves upon waves of xenomorphs. Now, the first game had different types of xenomorphs. I didn't play it a ton, I can't remember all of them, but they were all different types. The bigger ones with armor, ones that spit, probably ones that explode, and we see a ton of these in this new trailer as well. There seems to be quite a lot of different xenomorphs in this trailer. I saw a Praetorian, you can see a Queen, you can see this one, which looks like a Neomorph or a Deacon. I'm not really sure, but it definitely looks like one of the Prometheus-style aliens, so not sure what that is. But it's not just that, there's also going to be different types of enemies as well. You're going to be fighting against synthetics. We can see this one with his white blood spilling out, and you can also see robots as well. Now, this trailer really does highlight the difference between this and Alien Isolation. You can see that this game has a lot of action. These xenomorphs are going to be swarming at you. You're going to be working together as a team to gun them down. You're going to be using different abilities, different weapons, different equipment to deal with them, and there's a lot more of a tactical edge to it. Like you can see in this clip here, you see somebody uses some sort of freeze mine, which freezes a bunch of the xenomorphs. Now, for me personally, this kind of gameplay just completely removes the horror. I know I have quite a high horror tolerance as it is, but this kind of game, it's not really about the horror for me. It's about the fun of gunning enemies down. And this game probably isn't going to be for you if you're looking for a pure horror experience. But if you are an Alien fan and you like a bit of action, this might be the game for you. Like I said, I only played the first game a little bit, but I think this looks fun and I'm definitely going to be jumping in and playing it when it releases this summer. But I also wanted to talk about why this game exactly proves why I hope they don't go too far into the action in Alien Isolation 2. This was something that I brought up in my previous video where we discussed that small teaser trailer. And in that small teaser trailer, which was only about 20 seconds long, they are clearly showing us that the second game's inspiration is going to be aliens rather than Alien. The first Alien Isolation was absolutely based on the first Alien movie. The first Alien movie was a very horror experience, whereas the second movie was a lot more action. There were a lot more xenomorphs. There was a lot more run and gun kind of stuff happening in the second movie. And they were both very different. Now, I love both of those movies, but I love them for different reasons. And I find it really interesting that so many of the games that people get excited about are focused on aliens, because I get it, gamers like action, we like guns, we like explosions, we like cool weapons, we like running around and shooting things in the head. I get it, right? I understand it. I'm also one of those people. But Alien Isolation was at the complete opposite end of that. Alien Isolation really focused on the horror. You could not kill any of the xenomorphs outside of some cutscene stuff. You couldn't kill any of the xenomorphs during the gameplay. All you could ever do with the xenomorphs was delay them, was hold them off. The flamethrower was a great example. You could use that to stop the xenomorph from killing you but it wouldn't actually kill the Xenomorph. The Xenomorph would come back probably pretty soon. So I really, really liked that aspect of Alien Isolation. Now, the Alien Isolation one did have a bit of a balance in its gameplay. You had several different enemies. You had the Xenomorphs, you had humans, and you had the androids. You had the synthetics, the artificial persons. You had the Working Joes, and the Working Joes and humans could be killed, but both of those were also very challenging to kill in their own right, which meant you often wanted to try and avoid them like you should in a survival horror game. One of the whole things about survival horror is you are surviving the horror, you're not thriving the horror. Live, laugh, scream. But you get what I'm saying, right? Like, if you give the player the ability to start mowing down the enemies, you take a lot of the horror away from the survival horror. One of the reasons why the Xenomorph was so effective in Alien Isolation was because it was unkillable. Now, I really, really hope with Alien Isolation 2 that they're going to stay true to that original vision, to that original survival horror. If they push the action too far, which is something that a lot of games are doing lately, Resident Evil 9 Requiem did this, Silent Hill F even did this to a degree. A lot of these survival horror games seem to be shoving the action in because they want to sell more copies. I just know that would ruin what would make Alien Isolation 2 great. So I really hope that we can have a little bit of action in Alien Isolation 2. I just really hope it's not like this. I hope these two games are kept as separate as possible and that we can have two very different experiences, because at the end of the day, if Alien Isolation 2 pushes too hard towards Aliens, too hard towards this type of gameplay, well, there are already plenty of games that do this. So yeah, I don't know. I think Aliens Fireteam Elite 2 looks really good. I should probably go back and play the first one a little bit more because I didn't play it all that much, but I think it looks really good. I like that this game is action focused and that you can have all of that fun shooting Xenomorphs, have the time of your life blowing them up. And then Alien Isolation 2, in my opinion, needs to stick to what made Alien Isolation 1 good. And I'm really, really hoping that this means we can have two completely separate experiences and both of these games can be great in their own right. But there we go. It was a little teaser trailer. Go watch it if you want. It looked pretty fun if you like that kind of thing. Again, let me know what you thought about that CGI part though, because I don't know, man. Those animations, they were something. Did I miss any of them? I'm not an expert on the different types of Xenomorphs from the extended lore. I don't know. Somebody thinks they saw a Pred alien, but I'm not convinced I can find one. But let me know down in the comments if there's anything interesting in that one that I missed. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.